Homework review. Let's review your homework from the previous session. Now let's answer the following questions. Which InterNACHI webinar did you register for? We just did a webinar, a live online real-time interactive webinar with CPI Jim Crum, and we went over all the tips and techniques for performing a sewer scope inspection. And you can become InterNACHI certified. We have a training and certification program for sewer scope inspections. You can become a sewer scope inspector. And Mr. Crum helps us with the training, hands-on training at the House of Horrors, and also some online training as well. And that was a webinar that we did. So did you register for that webinar? You got to register for an InterNACHI webinar. It's really good. If you can't make it to the webinar because you're doing a home inspection, that's okay. As long as you register for a webinar, because every webinar is recorded, so you can watch it later. What one important thing did you learn from home inspection class number 27? One important thing that I learned.
Handrail. Handrail is needed here. It's needed here because I'm a home inspector and I put in a report as a defect. It's not required by code. I think code says, so correct me if I'm wrong, 4 risers, right? Until you need a handrail. You have to have a minimum of 4 risers, I think it is, on stairs. I think it's exterior stairs, 4 risers. Somebody can correct me. I could be wrong, but thank goodness I'm not a code inspector, right? My grandmother could not walk up those stairs without a handrail, and that is ridiculous. She could fall coming down those stairs, and that is not necessary. So I'm going to recommend a handrail there. What if the real estate agent says, grandfathered? I kind of laugh at that, right? I don't take that seriously, because I inspect a home regardless of when that home was built. I don't care when this house was built. I don't. I'm just looking for things that are important to my client, right? In my opinion, this is not safe. I don't care if it was built yesterday or 100 years ago. I don't care if it was built to code back then or it's built to code now. If it's a safety hazard, in my opinion, I'm calling it out. That's why it's so much fun to be a home inspector, right? You have so much power. It's really amazing. There it is. Handrails should be provided on at least one side of the continuous run of treads or a flight of 4 or more risers. Wow, that's what code is. That's ridiculous, right? So
that's what I learned from that home inspection class, number 27. What did you learn from it? Which legal letter did you choose to incorporate into your business? That was a homework assignment. And I personally like the template for responding to defamation. So let's take a look at that. So if this was written by Nick Gromicko and the InterNACHI legal team. And a little while back, a home inspector in Virginia won a judgment for $11,000 for defamation and then another $11,000 in punitive damage. And the inspector and defendant lived in the same condominium complex. They became involved in a dispute over the HOA, Homeowner Association. And the defendant then created an alias on Angie's List and wrote a negative review of the inspector, even though the inspector wasn't even hired by her. Because an inspector's reputation is critical to his or her success, you should be justifiably concerned that a dissatisfied client or someone with a grudge and an argument with you might post negative reviews about you and your company on the internet using Angie's List, Google reviews, or similar online forums. As an inspector, if you become aware of a negative review, you should promptly send a cease and desist letter to the person who posted it. And we have a template, so let's take a look at it. So it says, "Dear person, we are responding to your recent letter, email, phone call, you stated that you were unhappy with our inspection because, and then summarize. We appreciate that you took the time to contact us, or didn't. We take pride in our reputation to strive to keep our customers satisfied, yada, yada, yada. There's a paragraph if you want to refund all or part of the inspection fee. Notice you can download that release form. Remember, we went over that in previous sections. And then use this paragraph to request more information from the client, saying, we need more information to consider your claim. Please use the as issue resolution buyer form. And remember that? We went over that form where you collect information in order to get more information from your person who's complaining about you. And then you can use one of the following paragraphs if you don't want to issue a refund. And there's a paragraph there, or a paragraph there, or a paragraph here, or one of these paragraphs here. We believe that we complied with our contractual obligations and state law. The contract you signed clearly states that we will not test for the presence for mold or radon or log decay because the matter that concerns you was outside the scope of our inspection. We cannot accept any liability. And then in closing, you have these closing paragraphs. We regret we cannot give you a more favorable response. We wish you the best in the future, or we regret that we cannot give you a more favorable response to address the issue that concerns you. We encourage you to contact a plumber or electrician or something. We wish you the best. And then here's the paragraph if the client has threatened to harm your reputation. You stated that if we did not resolve this matter to your satisfaction, you would, and then state what the client threatened to do. While we understand your frustration, we take our reputation seriously. Please consider our statements above and review the contract you signed. If you make defamatory statements about us in any form, we will take action to protect our reputation. And then you refer to the case. In 2012, a home inspector in Virginia won an $11,000 judgment against the person that had defamed him on Angie's List. He won another $11,000 on top of that in punitive damages. See Sessa versus Schaefer, Circuit Board, Virginia Beach, case number, da-da-da-da. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. And that is a template that you could use when you're responding to someone who's given you a bad rap on social media channels. Sometimes that happens. I like to share one thing that was actually in my inspection agreement. I was able to resolve issues fairly well. Sometimes I had some crazy complaints against me. I've been to small claims court as a home inspector. I've successfully defended myself several times, and because you can't stop someone suing you. And then you can only provide a lot of defense and strategies to protect yourself and reduce your exposure and liability. One of the funny things was I had a coffee clause in my inspection agreement, and here it is. And I posted it many years ago. I wonder if you could see it. It says coffee meeting, and this is in my inspection agreement. This is one of my clauses. You do not have to use this. I'm just showing you how you can customize your online agreement using InternetShe's free online customizable agreement. You can add whatever you'd like. I had, in the event of a problem, complaint or bad result with the inspection service or report, client agrees to meet with the president of, and you insert your company, for at least 1 hour, 60 minutes, sipping coffee at a local diner without any other counsel or person present. Client agrees to openly communicate in good faith in an attempt to come to a resolution prior to filing any legal complaints against me. Why would you include this in a clause? Well, I'd rather spend an hour talking and sipping coffee with a former client instead of spending a lot of time and money seeing that person in court. I can't imagine sitting with someone in a non-confrontational face-to-face meeting and not being able to come to some sort of understanding and resolution to a problem. I propose that most complaints that home inspectors deal with stem from their clients' improper expectations and misunderstanding of the inspector's service. So setting your client's expectations should be handled prior to agreeing to perform an inspection. If you didn't do that, then this agreement to meet informally afterwards is your chance to set things right and avoid litigations. Emotions can run high, and strong words are often used when the method of communication is impersonal, such as through voicemails, letters, or social media reviews. In the least, an informal meeting can calm the situation. And you can take a look at that about what really matters when you're trying to resolve an issue. So, what legal letter did you choose to incorporate into your business? Homework. What one good idea are you going to steal from this website? And what are you going to incorporate into your website? Well, the first thing I like is the photo on my homepage. It answers the question, what am I paying for? Who am I hiring? Remember, your potential clients won't ever get to see, hardly even talk to you until you have already been hired. There's an agreement signed. Maybe some money has been deposited or a transaction credit card has taken. And you're in the driveway or at the front door and you're shaking hands. That's the first time you'll meet. Well, why not meet virtually online? So put your photo on the homepage. Don't put a picture of a big house on your homepage. Don't necessarily inspect all your homes, or maybe that's your home. Maybe you live in a big house or something. I don't know. People aren't coming to your homepage to look at other houses. They already found their dream home. Stop showing them pictures of homes that they are not interested in buying, right? It just doesn't make any sense. You are not in alignment with your client's needs. Remember that? A key to success that we learned in the previous step. You have to align your services, everything you do, your message, your brand, to what your client needs. And your client needs right now to know who they're hiring. So that's one tip that I got out of visiting Big Ben Inspections. The other one was I put some time. I found out how to figure out, how to put two things together, like my picture in a basement with the CPI logo. And that's like extra stuff, but at least a picture of yourself. And that logo there also says everything that they're looking for. They're online. My clients are online looking for an inspector who's professional and certified. If you got a registered certification mark right next to the picture of me, the person that they're about to hire, well, that's putting two things in one shot, and a picture's worth 1,000 words. You inspected the main water shutoff valve, right? So how did that go? One of the things that I do is I use the best moisture meter around. Say this is the water meter. I put my hand underneath the water meter. Oh, wait. Not that coffee cup. Hold on. Yeah. There we go. This coffee cup. So pretend this coffee cup is the water meter. Well, I use my hand. I always wipe my hand underneath the valve, the water meter, the trap, the P-trap, and if it's wet, then it's leaking. Because you can't really use a moisture meter around an object. So just use your hand. And if it comes out wet, well, then it's leaking. So how did you inspect the main water shutoff valve and water meter? Next, let's learn about managing risk in your first business task. And that is step 7.